All right, today let's do some real core exercises. So lay on your back and put your fingers just above your hip bones, right into your stomach there. And I want you to flatten your back against the floor, so try and push your stomach down. Sometimes people say suck your belly button towards your spine. So flatten your back as best you can, put your fingers on that squishy part, and then I want you to cough. And can you feel that those muscles are tightening up right there? Those are your true core muscles down there. Those are your transverse abdominis and your oblique muscles, not your sexy six-pack. And so we want to use those. So straighten out one of your legs, keep your knee bent, and as you tighten those muscles, you might notice that your knee wants to pop up. That's because your psoas muscle is trying to take over, not a real core muscle when we're trying to do flat back. So flatten that back, flatten your leg down, do a leg lift, and try and keep that back as flat as you can. Look down at your toes. Are your toes tipping out? If so, keep them straight. Do 20 of those, raising up and down. Try and keep your back as flat as you can. If that psoas is really hyperactive, like it likes to be on most people, try and push even harder. Keep that back flat. Crank out your 20. And we'll call that 20. And switch. Straighten that other leg, flatten your back, flatten that leg against the floor. As you go up and down, make sure that heel touches the ground each time, because that's what represents you standing up nice, straight, and tall while using your core. Don't cheat yourself out of that last inch. So going up and down, keep that toe from tipping out, keep it straight up and down, keep that back as flat as you can. And we'll call that about 20. Go ahead and bend both your knees, flatten that back again, bring your knees up into tabletop position. If you feel like you're pretty tough, go ahead and straighten those legs out. But in this tabletop position, flatten that back, start to lower your legs down towards the floor, and you'll see me start to shake here. And only go as far down as you can while keeping your back flat. Try and hold that, try and breathe through your diaphragm. That's part of this upper abdominal region, right underneath your ribs. Try and breathe up high while you're flexing down low. And rest. Go as long as you can with that hold, doing that tabletop position. Let's do 3 of them. So go again, flatten that back, bring those knees up if you're feeling nice and strong. Keep them go straight. If you're going straight, make sure you're really pushing those feet together. Don't let them pull apart like that. Bring everything to that center midline. Keep that core nice and flat. Breathe through your diaphragm. Go as long as you can. If your legs are straight, bend your knees. When you get done, hit your feet. Give it a rest. Take some breaths. Round 3, flatten that back. Bring those legs up. Lower them down a little bit, as far as you can go. What we're trying to do is we're trying to train that psoas muscle not to arch our back, especially in this position. Trying to keep that nice straight back, trying to turn that off through the psoas, turn off the proper core muscles, and rest. Good, so that's your second exercise, doing your double leg lowers. Most people like to do double leg lifts, but that encourages your low back to use that psoas from the bottom going up. We're trying not to use that. That muscle likes to pull forward and sometimes off to one side more than the other, and that can give you a lot of back pain. So trying to train that out. Next one, sitting with your legs straight as you can. If your hamstrings are really tight, bend your knees, put your hands out in front of you, and then I want you to try and push your stomach forward. Arch that low back just a little bit. Sounds counterintuitive to that psoas we were just talking about, but we're going to keep it moderately straight. Lean back a little bit, don't hollow out. Push that stomach forward, flex those lower core muscles, try and breathe through this diaphragm area. And again, hold that as long as you can. If your legs can go straight, push those feet together. Hold that, lean back. If you're trying to be too crazy, you're gonna go too far back, you're gonna start hollowing out. Just lean back that little bit. Hold as long as you can, then put your hands behind you. Take a break. Take a breather. So there's round 1. Going again, push those feet together. If your knees are bent, bend those knees. Going out, push that stomach forward, lean back slightly, and breathe. Another thing you don't another thing you don't want to do in this position, don't want to be pushing that head forward. You want to keep that head back, flex those muscles underneath your chin for proper posture alignment. Hold that as long as you can, then rest. You might start to feel those hip flexors burning. We're using those with the true core muscles. It's not using your psoas. That's why they're feeling really a lot of strain, because we're training them differently. Last one, going up there, pull those shoulder blades back, flex that chin, breathe through that diaphragm, shake and quake. Hold that as long as you can, then take a break again. Last exercise, doing a plank. Proper planks, you don't want to be in this up position with your shoulder blades, because if you're training that strength, you're training that here, bring those arms down, that's a really silly thing to be strengthening. You want to be strengthening it here. So with that plank on your elbows, on your toes, if that's too hard, go to your knees. But go in there on your elbows, and I want you to drop that chest down towards the floor. Doesn't have to be all the way, it could be in the middle or down, but I want you to squeeze your butt, then try and pull your elbows down towards your toes or towards your knees. That's the right way to do a plank. Dropping that chest down, squeeze those shoulder blades, squeeze those butt muscles, pull those elbows down towards your toes, towards your knees. Hold that as long as you can, shake and quake, and rest. Take a breather on your knees, then go for round 2. Squeeze those butt muscles together, squeeze those shoulder blades, drive those elbows down, shake and quake. Try and breathe through that diaphragm area. Hold that as long as you can. Again, if this is too hard, just go elbows and knees. Hold as long as you can in that plank, and rest. So there's 4 true core exercises you can do to get the proper muscles working here. Not just the six-pack, not just these upper abdominals, but those lower muscles that can help protect that spine all the way around while you're doing anything from lunging, bending over, and just anything that you need to be doing during the daily life that can help protect your back. Hope that helps.